whispering because it's super late at night, like 2 a.m. Just got back from the movies, and I don't know. I decided, let me just make a video. What I'm going to talk about, I don't really quite know yet, but I'm just going to roll with it. I think the first thing off the top of my head is, so I have the job offer, the written job offer is signed, did all the background stuff that I had to fill out, and so I start next Monday. And part of me is like, crap. Now I have to go to a real job again and sit somewhere for hours and then like commute back and forth, which I haven't done in a long while. Especially doing part-time work remotely, and it's like fun work. So like now that I have to do real work, I'm like, crap. But I'm very grateful. I just feel like, yeah, I just need income and benefits coming back in. And then weirdly, like Christmas Eve, I got another interview with a company that I applied for maybe 2 months back. And the job description is pretty cool and right up my alley. It's communications related and like tied to the environment. But I'm like, okay, whatever. It's still in the area that I live, but like the role itself is very fun and creative, and just talking with people and getting information out there and collecting information, which I love. So yeah, I think that might be a long process. But the pay of that one is better. And yeah, I think if that works out, I will quit this current job. At this point, I'm just like, fuck it, whatever. I just need to be selfish and do whatever works for me and not give so much to other companies, which is what I was doing in the past, and it kind of screwed me over. But anyway, so yeah, we'll see what happens. But right now, the stove is hot, and I like that. Finally, after like silence, complete silence from other job prospects, it's nice to feel like, oh, my resume is getting somewhere, and people are interested in interviewing me, and people are pushing my resume further in the recruitment process. So this is good. And I think because I've had so many interviews the last few weeks that I just don't even care anymore. Like, I did study for this last interview, but I'm just like, I'm not gonna like beat myself up over it if I can't answer something. Like, I feel confident. There's not much more I can like study or do. They either want to hire me or they don't. So that's my motto. That's what I'm gonna go for. But yeah, I am excited to do something different starting next week. So we'll see. I'll obviously provide updates about how that's going. Other than that, because I have like a week left, I'm kind of like, oh crap, I should go somewhere, but this is the most expensive time to be flying, so I'm trying to refrain myself from doing this. But yeah, definitely internally, I'm just like, yeah, exploration, vacation, let's go. But no, I need to come back to my senses and do something else to keep my mind occupied. Which, like, weirdly enough, my cousin got me a paint by numbers canvas. And I've heard of them before, but I've never like used it. But she got two, one for me, one for my sister. My sister is not into this stuff, so she gave me hers. And so it's been keeping me pretty occupied, and I enjoy it. So I think I'm gonna get a few more, and yeah, I'm missing my overall like painting creativity time. I think when I was in my apartment alone, I had my routine, like I'd set it up in the kitchen area, play music, have the TV on, drink some wine, and like there was just so much time to myself that I could like think of some random concept to paint and then it would just like flow through me. When I try to paint here, because the house is crowded and I don't really have like a space for me, like my mind is just blank. And then like people are just nosy and being like, well, why don't you paint this? Or look at this painting. I saw this was cool. Like, you should paint this. And I'm just like, I could, but I don't want to. I used to come up with ideas. So, anyway, so the paint by numbers thing is good for right now. I think it's getting me back into that habit of doing that and making sure I carve out time to like concentrate to paint the freaking lines because some of the detailing is a bit tiny. But yeah, it's fun. And then I've been making time to hang out with people one-on-one, which is I think what I need. And you know, I was meeting with my friend that I used to work with, and she said to me like, I asked her to be a reference for this job, and so she told me, she was like, you know, I'm really proud of you, and I'm really like just impressed that you just decided to do something completely different and random from any of your previous job experience. And I was like, well, realistically, you know, sometimes that other stuff that I really want is taking a bit of time, so I need something to pay the bills. But yeah, but she's like, no, I think it's really brave. She's like, I don't know if I could do that, but like with you doing it, it's making me think like, oh, like, yeah, this is something I've never experienced, and like, who says that I have to like continue with like another same old office job doing environmental stuff? Like, you could do something completely different and random if you choose to, and that's totally okay. And maybe you might feel like a fish out of water, which is probably how I'll feel next week. But like, whatever. It's just an experiment. And so I told her about the job interviews that I had with both companies, and even the managers working there were just like, yeah, I was doing something completely different. And then I ended up starting here as like a low position, and now I'm like the regional manager of like so many different properties. So yeah, I like that. I was like, you just never know. I mean, who knows what's gonna happen? And yeah, it took me a while to get to that point, but I feel happy that I eventually decided to start applying like a mad woman, and just in that mindset of fuck it, I don't even care where I end up. I just would like to stop paying out of pocket for insurance and having a paycheck come in and paying off my bills. Yeah. Anyway, what else is on my mind? I have no idea. I do feel, yeah, boredom, like I said, but I know shit's about to change, so I need to like remind myself to just take this time to just chill and relax and do basic stuff instead of just like trying to fill my time in with like so many different activities or travel or anything of that nature. And then I don't know. I think my mind's been pretty good for the most part, but then there's some thoughts throughout the day where it kind of wants to get into a negative thinking pattern, but I think only because I'm kind of bored. But I like mentally have to tell myself, like, oh no, we're not doing that. We're not thinking these thoughts anymore. It's like pointless to think about this. Like, for example, I haven't heard from Mateo in a couple of days, which is fine. Whatever. I don't care. But like, my mind tends to wander and be like, well, maybe he's just not interested. And I just have to like tell my mind, no, shut up. Like, he is interested. There's a million signs why he is interested. And just because someone's silent a few days doesn't mean there's something wrong or that somebody's mind changed. And even if his mind did change, like, whatever, he's an idiot. But he's not an idiot. But, like, you know. Anyway, I feel like I've just been blabbing on, so I'm gonna log off now. But that's my update of the day. Anyway, have a good one.